أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين اللهم يسر ولا تعسر رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Inshallah, we continue with our lesson 4 today, which hopefully we're hoping to finish this lesson 5, hoping to finish the chapter of فصل في النية في حال التحلم أو في نية الحال
تعلم تعلمي أو تعلمي
تعلم. Now, we'll be looking at the end. Hopefully, we'll try to finish this chapter today. I think our previous lesson was really long, so we'll try the best today to minimize it, inshallah.
inshallah.
نعم بسم الله.
أنشدنا الشيخ الإمام الأجل الأستاذ قوام الدين حماد بن إبراهيم بن إسماعيل الصفار الأنصاري إملاء لأبي حنيفة رحمه الله تعالى شعرا.
Now, in our previous lesson, we were able to look at intention of seeking knowledge. It's very important, and also because of the difficulties that is associated with seeking knowledge, we were informed and advised that we should take our intention seriously. We should intend for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also to intend to get the knowledge that will help us clear our own ignorance and also help other ignorant people. It also told us that we should learn so that we can help and establish the deen by supporting the deen, because of course with the deen you cannot use your personal interest in serving the deen. It needs knowledge. Amazingly, unfortunately, we live in a society of late, people who are being seen as scholars of Islam, they are using Islam for their personal gain. Instead of serving the deen, they want the deen to serve them. So people want to be seen as celebrities. They want to be seen as like a rulers just because of the knowledge they have, which of course is un-Islamic. We need to understand that we are serving Allah sincere, so that out of His mercy He will accept our deed and reward us. But the moment we use the knowledge to try to sabotage people, you can see there are people out there, unfortunately, they cannot look into the Quran or into the Hadith and see some concern that the Muslim Ummah are facing to address them. They are only going about looking for someone said this, I'm going to retaliate. Someone said this, I'm going to talk back, or I'm going to fix their mistake. They are only there to look at people's mistake to fix, instead of trying to see within their own reach, within their own mujtama, how can they better themselves and how can they also help other people. Remember, we spoke about Abdullah Himar. Abdullah Himar, here we say, is a jovial guy who was always in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him with what? Alcohol drinking. Alright? This guy will come in front of the Prophet ﷺ when people are busy and crack jokes, and everyone would just laugh. You know, once I remember he went to the market, he saw beautiful fruits. He said, how much is it all on the plate? They said, it's this much. He said, I'm buying the whole lot. Come with me. You know, the seller came with him all the way to the masjid. He said to the Prophet ﷺ, I saw these beautiful fruits and I thought of you, and I thought, let me just get it for you. The Prophet was amazed and was happy with it. When they said, oh, let's share it. And then he said to the Prophet ﷺ, but I have not paid. You have to pay for it. You know? And the Prophet ﷺ would just look at that such a man and laugh at him. And you know, every now and then he would get drunk, and then they would just give him some punishment in the masjid. One of the companions was not happy with this, and he felt like, you know, what type of person are you? You know, he started to curse him. Are you in your mind? Every day you just, would you fix this? And the Prophet ﷺ would tell to him and say, stop it. You don't insult or curse him. Remember, this guy loved Allah and His Messenger. You know, So sometimes the way people that are being seen as scholars, the way they treat people under them, they make them feel like they are just outcasts or they are better people than anyone else. Unfortunately, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not mind. One day twist things around and then you become nobody. So we are advised when we seek knowledge, we should have good intention in all of our endeavors. So it made mention that this scholar, which is Hamadu bin Ibrahim, he made mention or said this poem where Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man was copying, writing. So that's why I said, Imla an li Abi Hanifata rahimahullah. Now, he said,
من طلب العلم للمعاد
من طلب العلم للمعاد فاز بفضل من الرشاد فيا خسران طالبه لنيل فضل
من
من العباد.
العباد.
من طلب العلم, whoever seeks knowledge, للمعاد, for akhirah, whoever went and searched for knowledge, whoever studied just to please Allah, for akhirah, for hereafter, faza bifadlin min ar-rashad, has indeed succeeded with the blessings that comes with the guidance. فَيَا خُسْرَانِ طَالِبِهِ لِنَيْلِ فَضْلٍ مِنَ الْعِبَادِ. Woe unto the person who seeks knowledge just to benefit from the people or just to get some sort of status or some sort of recognition from people. We shouldn't do that. Whenever we seek knowledge, we should do it for the sake of Allah, for the betterment of our akhirah. Then Allah will bless us and we get the reward for this world and hereafter. But the moment we started seeking knowledge just to impress, just to make people be happy with us or getting people to be proud of us, then we lose the reward from Allah and also it will not benefit us in this world as well. Now,
اللهم إلا إذا طلب الجاه الأمر بالمعروف والنهى عن المنكر
وَالنَّهْيِ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ.
والنهي عن
Allahumma,
المنكر.
except إِلَّا إِذَا طَلَبَ الْجَاهِ. So we were told that we should not seek the knowledge for any worldly benefit. But if a person seeks the knowledge, إِلَّا إِذَا طَلَبَ الْجَاهِ, unless if a person seeks prestige, not because he want to be praised, not because he want to be acknowledged, but he wanted the knowledge to be acknowledged. He wanted the knowledge to have a value. So because of that, he did that لِأَمْرِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَالنَّهْيِ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. You know, when you live in some certain society, you know, I was told by someone that when you go into your lessons, make sure you look after your clothing. I said, people don't care about what I wear. They said, no, 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 no. This time around, people are not interested in what you say. They start judging you in your presentation before they even listen to you. All right? So the idea here is we live in a society where, unfortunately, people sometimes can only listen when they see that the person who is speaking has a certain status. All right? That is why we see the celebrity speakers. Sometimes the person will speak till end. When you ask the people that were sitting there, what did the sheikh said? They cannot bring one thing they've learned there. All right? But because it is that person, they're eager to go. So it says that sometimes you should seek for prestige only if you need the knowledge to be acknowledged, so that at least when you are enjoining good and forbidding evil, people will see the power or where the message is coming from. Not because you want to be acknowledged in this situation, but you know, sometimes you will say something, another person will say the same thing, no one will recognize yours, but then people will be saying, wow, you heard what he said, but you said the same thing already. Just because that person was recognized, the information was given some sort of value. All right? So sometimes you will seek the prestige, not because of your personal gain, but just for you to be able to pass the information and that the information will have some sort of value. All right? So that is the idea there. Now, so he said, Allahumma illa idha talab al-ja, except when he seeks the knowledge or the prestige, okay? لِأَمْرِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, so that he can enjoy good, والنهي عن المنكر, and also forbid evil. نعم. وتنفيذ الحق, and also implement the truth. All right? Implementing the truth in this situation, as I made mention, if you don't have the power and your voice don't have a value, there's no way you can speak the truth and people listen. Unfortunately, up till now, we just have to embrace it. We live in a society, even within a community, within a family, your voice cannot be seen as a voice unless if you are someone who is giving. All right? If you are a person who is always bringing money, sharing money in the family, it doesn't matter whatever your position is on a decision. Whether your decision is the wrong one, people will say, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah, this guy never lies. Because of what? Because he always give money. So these are unfortunate situations we find ourselves, and which is part of the signs of Qiyamah. The Prophet ﷺ made mention that it will reach a stage where the liar amongst you will be the one that people listen to. The person telling the truth is always disregarded. So unfortunately, we live in such a society. So sometimes you want to encourage or put some emphasis on some of the problems within the community, but your voice is not as important because of where you are or who you are in the society. So if you need to have that sort of status so that you can help and also establish or implement the truth within the community, then do that just for that aspect. Don't go beyond just for you to be recognized. Now,
وإعزاز الدين
and Izad al-Din, and also not only implementing the truth, but also giving the Deen some sort of power. Okay? Giving the Deen some sort of recognition. If you need to seek for prestige, so that whatever you say regarding the Deen, people will be able to look at it and also take it. Then in that sense, la li nafsihi wa hawa, he is not doing that for his personal gain or personal interest or personal desire. Then in that sense, for your Jews, it is acceptable for him to seek knowledge with that prestige. All right? Remember, please, no one can see your heart except your creator. Alimun bi dhati sudur. Don't lie to people about how you feel. Allah can see. Do it to convince Allah. Allah knows why you do what you do. And the idea here is, that's why we always say we should keep reviving our intention. Because, wallah, you will do things sincerely for the sake of Allah, and people will praise you, and shaitan will kick in and make you feel like, mashallah, tabarakallah, and then you keep going before you realize he is putting you down. Naam.
فيجوز ذلك بقدر ما يقيم به الأمر بالمعروف.
So for this, for the amount or the quantity, or for the small level of being able to establish or enjoy good, وَالنَّهِي عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and forbid evil, that part is okay for you to seek that. If you need that for your message to be passed across, then you need to do that. Okay? But don't go beyond that.
وينبغي لطالب العلم
وينبغي لطالب العلم أن يتفكر في ذلك. So it is encouraged, or it is very important for the student of knowledge أن يتفكر في ذلك, to ponder and think in this situation. فإنه, because why is he saying so? فإنه أي فإن طلب العلم, because seeking knowledge, okay, أو فإنه يتعلم العلم بجهد, because he, the student of knowledge, يتعلم العلم بجهد, he is striving, working hard to seek knowledge. So why will you waste all the effort and the time? Imagine for some of you who have to memorize, how many times do you need to sit? How many hours do you need to go upon simple lines just to make sure you memorize? So imagine all this effort, the time and energy that you put across just to memorize just small piece of text or small piece of verses in the Quran, and then you waste this energy and time with seeking worldly gain. All right? So he said, think about it as a student of knowledge. You know it is very difficult. So the effort and the energy that you put in seeking knowledge, do not waste it. Okay? فَإِنَّهُ يَتَعَلَّمُ الْعِلْمَ بِجُهْدٍ كَثِيرٍ. He is putting lots of effort in seeking knowledge. فَلَا يَصْرِفْهُ إِلَى الدُّنْيَا. Do not turn this energy and the effort for worldly things. Okay? What is this dunya? Al-haqir. Okay? Something that is despicable. Something that is nothing. The world is nothing. As the Prophet ﷺ is telling us on the day of Qiyamah, the world and whatever that you can think of in terms of bliss and enjoyment of this world will come on the day of Qiyamah like an old lady. And then the dunya will be requesting from Allah, Ya Allah, take me and give it to your worst of believers who are going to Jannah, the worst of Jannah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will look at Jannah, dunya and said, you, for my servant is better than you. So what are we looking for in this dunya when it is nothing compared to what Allah has prepared for us in akhirah? All right? So do not waste that time and twist or turn away these blessings that are waiting for you for akhirah, for worldly thing, the world that is nothing. Al-haqiru qalilatun aw qalilatin al-faniya. This world is nothing, it's just little. Al-faniya, something that will end. It will finish one day. The world is not here forever. It's going to end. So why will you waste your time on something that is not lasting forever? Now, and then he's going to give you another poem that is going to answer this question of the position of dunya. هي الدنيا أقل من القليل وعاشقها أذل من الذليل تسم بسحرها قوما وطعما فهم متحيرون بلا دليل. هي الدنيا, he said, this world, the dunya, أقل من القليل. It is small from the smallest you can think of. It's the little from the little you can think of. The world is nothing. Whatever enjoyment you can think of in this dunya is nothing. وَعَاشِقُهَا, the one who loves this world, the one who wants to live in this world, the one who wants to enjoy this world, the one who thinks that the world got lots to offer, أَذَلُّ مِنَ الذَّلِيلِ. He is the most humiliated among the humiliation. He is the worst of people. Anyone you see who loves dunya, who wants to attain, who wants to get the dunya, remember he is the humiliated person you can ever see on this earth. Why is it so? Because the dunya tusimu bisihriha qawman wa tu'ma. The dunya, it made those who are following it deaf. Okay? Wa tu'ma, and it makes those who are following it blind. Bisihriha. With what? With its magics or its tricks. Which means that the world will decorate itself in a sense that you want to achieve it. You know, like what we call mirage. You know, when you are driving in the heat, from far away you can see on the road as if there's water. By the time you get there, there's nothing. While you're driving, you go far, you can see as if there's water. By the time you get there, it's nothing. That is how the world is treating us. It makes you feel as if, just extra effort, you're going to make it. Extra effort, you're going to make it. Before you realize, أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ حَتَّى ذُرْتُمُ الْمَكَابِرَ. You keep chasing. Before you realize, you find yourself in the grave. Death has already come. Now you're thinking, subhanallah, when did this happen? Because the world or the dunya is tricking you, making you feel like, just extra effort. You will be rich and then you have enough time to come back to your deen. You will have what you want and you start spending time in the masjid. Lies. It just tricks you, making you feel like it's almost there. It's almost there. Before you realize, every single second, every single minute, every single hour, every single day, month, weeks are going. Before you realize, your life is finished and there's nothing that you've done for akhirah. So he said that the world, it will make you deaf and also make you blind with its tricks. For whom? Those who are intending, or those who really want this world, those that are following this world, when the world turned them in that way, فَهُمْ مُتَحَيَّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ. You see them very confused without any reason. They are confused. مُتَحَيَّر. They are confused without any... You cannot see what exactly is making them the way they go. Because they always have in their mindset, oh, it would be okay because of this, because of that. Before they realize, they have wasted much of their time without any benefit for them. Now,
وينبغي لأهل العلم ألا يذل نفسه بالطمع في غير مطمع.
Now, finish with the student of knowledge. Now, those that have the knowledge, this is also advice for our scholars. ينبغي لأهل العلم. It is important for those who have knowledge ألا يذل نفسه بالطمع. They should not belittle themselves, all right, with greed في غير مطمع, in where they shouldn't be greedy. Why is it so? We spoke about this in our previous lesson, saying al-ilmu zaynun li ahlihi. Knowledge by itself is a decoration for those who have it, right?
No.
Now, you as a scholar of knowledge, you that Allah has given you a title, you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that this world and hereafter, everyone will be proud of you. Then you belittle yourself in front of someone who has only dunya. That person can be a politician. That person can be a minister. That person can be a king. That person can be just worldly thing. Then you try to associate yourself. You want to get closer to that person. You want to befriend the person just because of worldly thing. By doing that, you are disgracing what Allah has given you in terms of knowledge. Okay? You are belittling something that is more of higher level and status just because of worldly thing. When you do that, you are insulting the knowledge that you have. Because you are supposed to be that those people want to get closer to. Because you have something that they don't have. Right? Worldly thing everyone can have. But you have been given something that is special. So do not belittle that position for worldly thing. Okay? غَيْرَ مَطْمَعٍ, where you shouldn't do that. Do not belittle yourself in front of people for worldly thing. نعم.
ويتحرز عما فيه مذلة العلم وأهله.
Now, and ويتحرز, and also they should be mindful, they should be careful, stay away. أما فيه مذلة العلم وأهله, from anything that will belittle knowledge and the scholars of knowledge. Just because imagine yourself, you put yourself under a politician. We live in a society and we always say that. The moment the imam is ruled by ignorant people, what happens is he cannot make any fatwa that will save the ummah because he has to be sure that he does not step on those people. So now he has to always sugarcoat the fatwa because he does not want to offend those people. But if you feel like I don't need anything from them, do you care how they feel? You just want to tell the truth. Al-haqqu haqqun walau kana murrun. The truth is the truth, even if it's bitter. Let them surrender and come to you because you are with Allah. You shouldn't be the other way around. You are rather wanting them. No. You are working for Allah, so let them come to you. Tell the truth. It doesn't matter who the person is. And you can see in the Muslim world today, Muslims cannot open their mouth to talk about things that are injustice anymore. Where? Who? Can they? No. Because they have followed the world. Okay? They have followed the world. They have made themselves known to themselves that they have nothing. They need to follow the world for anything that they see in worldly. People in the Muslim world don't even produce toothpick. So how can they open their mouth and say, this thing is injustice, stop it. Okay, we are going to put embargo. No more dealing with you guys. We don't sell soap to you. Look at the most expensive cars in the world. Where is it being used? Those people, do they even produce a tire? So the lifestyle we've chosen We cannot tell the truth. We live in a society today. There are some Muslims can easily say that, Wallahi, what is happening in Gaza is not good. The Zionists are really doing harm to the people of Gaza. But they cannot open their mouth and talk about what is happening in Yemen. Why is it so? What sort of injustice is injustice and some that are not? You become hypocrite, like the same people who will say a Muslim is a terrorist, but when terrorism is being done in a Muslim country, they don't mention it. The same thing you become. If your fellow Muslim brother does something that is not good, mention it as it is. Don't say what is happening in Gaza is not good, but you keep quiet with what is happening in Yemen. Aren't they human? Is it because those that are bombarding them, you are siding with them? What is happening in Sudan? Do we forget that? Why can't we mention what is happening in the world openly, comfortably? Why can't we say the way things are? Why is it that we can only mention others and we cannot mention others? The reason is because we have put our mouth where we shouldn't. We have put our interest where we shouldn't. And because of that, we don't have any voice anymore. Our voice don't have any qima. There is no any value because we are hypocrites. We don't address everything equally. And that is the problem. So we need to be mindful. They said the scholars, of course, it's not us. We're talking about the scholars. They should be mindful the way they treat things. Wherever injustice is not being done, feel comfortable to mention it because it's Allah who provides your sustenance, not anyone else. Do not be scared of what you're going to lose from fellow human being when Allah is the one who produces or provide your sustenance. Now,
ويكون متواضعا
so ويكون متواضعا والتواضع بين التكبر والمذلة والعفة. The only thing you can do is saying the truth or telling the truth or being on the right does not mean that you should be arrogant. كن متواضعا. Be a humble person. Don't be arrogant. Don't show off. Telling the truth does not mean that you should look down upon people because you are also not an angel. But tawadu. Okay? Be humble. He said, وَيَكُونُ مُتَوَاضِعًا. You as a scholar of knowledge, be mutawadhi'. وَالتَّوَاضُعُ, if you want to know what is being humble, بَيْنَ التَّكَبُّرِ وَالْمَذَلَّةِ وَالْعِفَّةِ. Humbleness is in between takabbur, arrogance, والمذلة and inferiority, والعفة and also gentleness. So when you are someone who is humble, you are in between this triangle, which means you are not arrogant, you're gentle, all right, but not so gentle that you cannot open and say what needs to be said. And also you are not also belittling yourself as inferior. No. So he said that being humble is in between this triangle. Now,
ويعرف ذلك في كتاب الأخلاق.
if you want to know more about this, there's a book written by Imam Abu Hanifah al-Nu'man. It's a very short book. It's called Kitab al-Akhlaq. Very beautiful book when you are to go through it and see. He advised one of his students when he's finished studying with him, he's going back to his people. He advised him on when he goes, how to deal with people. And wallah, when you look at it carefully and see some of the issues that happen in 70s, 80s, and early 90s in some societies, wallah, you can understand that lack of this sort of akhlaq or this sort of lessons was what brought issue within the Muslim Ummah in some countries. We'll take example of where we came from in most of in West Africa. You can see in early 60s when students got the opportunity to go to Saudi and study, when they came back, they came with harshness. All their teachers and the imams in their communities and societies, they declared all of them are going to Jahannam. They are not Muslims. Those who taught them, those who prepared them, those who sent them to Saudi to study, when they came back, they condemned those people all going to Jahannam. All right? After 20, 30, 40 years, some of the things they condemned, they start coming back after that. after they've already divided the masajid in their communities. They create issue and said, if this man will still be here, we have to open our new masjid because this guy is committing bid'ah. We will not pray with this person. They came and divided all the society, all the community. Unfortunately, after 30, 40 years, now some of the things that they said is haram, they backed off and started reviving. How many people you've condemned and pushed away, and even people died because you created conflict within the Muslim Ummah. So the problem is, when you have this sort of book of akhlaq, as I made mention, it teaches you, when you have knowledge and you go back to your people, how to deal with those that are already there. How to engage. It's not about argument, it's not about debate, it's about trying to get to the center or trying to at least get to the medium. Do not be too harsh on the people. Look at the Prophet ﷺ when he opened Mecca. After Fathu Mecca, he was telling Aisha regarding the khatim, the half circle that is around the Kaaba. He said, it is part of the Kaaba. So why don't we just connect it together and rebuild? He said, no, your people's iman is just fresh. Anything you do now, it will be a sense of what? Belittling the building. So leave it as it is. This is Sha'air Allah. This is the deen. Whatever is concerning the deen, there's no any concession. But the Prophet ﷺ understood the people he was dealing with. Let's take it easy on them. Some of them are only accepting the deen because they have no choice. Some just got the deen, but they are now to learn about it. When you start, being harsh and trying to bring things and say, this is how things need to be, you're going to break them. They cannot handle it. It will be too much. So these are the problems we face, unfortunately, in our society today. When people get some knowledge, unfortunately, they cannot control themselves and how to help those that are already in the system. Wallahi, sometimes what we see with our own eyes and feel like this is haram, wallahi, in front of Allah is nothing compared to what we are hiding ourselves in our heart in terms of arrogance and ignorance. All right? There was a scholar who is an old man. Those sort of type of old learned people but did not travel to learn outside. No. Anytime he is giving khutbah or giving a talk in the masjid, people will be crying. His son, who came with mantik, nahu, sarf, balaga, he is good in pronunciation, better than his father. He knows all corners of tafsir. He can compare this and that and that. He will add with modern science to convince people. When he gives khutbah, nothing happened. And he was surprised. He was asking the old man, why is it that when you are talking to the masjid, in the masjid, the moment you say, Ya ayyuhan nas, ittaqullaha, the whole masjid, people will be crying. But look, I said what you said and added with evidence. Nothing happened. The old man said, because you only saying what comes out of your tongue. And I'm saying from my heart. So those people have sacrificed. They lived the life where they served Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you got knowledge and you are going to be in the same society, be humble. Deal with them gently. Even if you see a mistake, know how to present it. Look at the hikayah of those two grandkids of the Prophet ﷺ, Hassan and Hussein. It was said that those two boys saw an old man performing wudu. He was not doing it right. Instead of saying, old man, this is not how we perform wudu, they came and said to the old man, we want you to assess between myself and Hassan, who is good in performing wudu. Hassan said, it's better. I think I'm better. So observe and tell us who is better. Hassan performed wudu perfectly the way the Prophet would do it. Hussein did the same way. The old man looked at them. He got to know that these guys are doing it better than the way I was doing. He tended to appreciate without them looking down upon him. Allah is saying in the Quran, Udu'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal maw'izat al hasana. Right? Wajadil billati hiya ahsan. And you are going to call people towards Allah, but you start condemning them, cursing them, abusing them, and expect them to take your message? Are you a businessman for real? Because the tomato seller don't insult their customers in the market. They want you to come closer. They will give you titles that you don't even deserve just for you to come and buy their stuff. Why is it that you think that you need to insult and curse and abuse people before they take the message from you? Who are you? In Islam, not even one way or the other, whether Quran or Hadith, that said that Shaitan, the arch enemy, we should insult him. We are only asked to seek protection from him, not to insult him. So why do you think that if you want to guide or want to help somebody, it has to go that way? So we need to be very careful. So this book, Kitab al-Akhlaq, is very good. Very short. You can find it online. You can download. It's very, very, very simple. Dot points it put across. Wallahi, dot point it put across, and it will advise you on different ways of dealing with people. Even no matter how ignorant they are, you'll be able to have a common goal when you are dealing with them. Now,
أنشدني الشيخ الإمام الأجل الأستاذ ركن الإسلام المعروف بالأديب المختار رحمه الله شعرا لنفسه.
So here, this scholar, as we saw the name, he also wrote a poem in which he himself, he is educating himself on those poems by saying, إن التواضع من الخصال المتقي وبه التقي إلى معالي يرتقي ومن العجائب أعجب من هو جاهل في حاله أهو سعيد أم شقي أم كيف يختم أمره أو روحه يوم التوى متسفل أو مرتقي والكبرياء لربنا صفة به مخصوصة فتجنبها واتقي. This is talking about the humble, or what we made mention of tawadu, being humble. إن التواضع أو إن التواضع من خصال المتقي. Humbleness is one of the attributes of a person who have taqwa. It's one of the signs of iman. If you see a person being humble, you know that this person has iman. Wallahi, not to boast. We live with scholars that, regardless of their status in the society, they don't even call themselves scholars. You see the person, when he sees you, an adult, a scholar, a leader in the community, the moment you see him, before you say salam, he says salam to you. He's not waiting to be a celebrity. No. These are people that understood what iman is all about. May Allah have mercy on them.
Amen.
So he said, at-tawadu', humbleness is one of the attributes of al-muttaqi, a person who has taqwa. وَبِهِ تَقِيٌّ إِلَى الْمَعَالِ يَرْتَقِي. أي وَبِالتَّوَاضُعِ, with the humbleness, at-taqiyyu, a person who has iman, إِلَى الْمَعَالِ يَرْتَقِي, أي يَرْتَقِي إِلَى الْمَعَالِ, will be elevated to the highest level. Because of what? Tawadu. Because we spoke about this. If you put yourself down, Allah will elevate you. If you take yourself up, Allah will put you down. That's how it works. All right? We gave example with different ways the scholars of knowledge give. We gave example of the rain. When it rains, it comes all the way on the mountain. It comes all the way on the branches and the leaves of the tree, but it won't stop there. Where is it going? Going down, deep down where the roots are. The roots are down, the blessings will come to them, and they will rather help those that are up. All right? So this is ishara. Ishara. These are signs for a person to think. It is under, but the water comes to it. If water is to stay on the leaves, it will not benefit the tree. All right? So when you humble yourself, it becomes better, and then you will be able to serve, because Allah will give you that. وَمِنَ الْعَجَائِبِ أُعْجُبُ مَنْ هُوَ جَاهِلٌ. What a surprise. The arrogance of someone who is what? Ignorant. Trying to show off. Trying to act as if they know they have everything. They were boasting about it. Not knowing فِي حَالِهِ أَهُوَ سَعِيدٌ أَمْ شَقِيٌّ. Not knowing whether they will be among those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with, or they are among the bad people. They don't know. But here they are, they're boasting and showing off. كيف يختم عمره أو روحه. They don't know how their ending is going to be, when their life is going to be taken away, which situation they will find themselves in. They don't know. But here they are, they want to show off. When is this? يوم التقوى أو يوم التوى متسفل أو مرتقي. The day that they will be taken, are they going to be mutasaffalun? Are they going to be among those that were under, which means those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them nobody, like they will be more or less humiliated, أو مرتقي, or they will be among those that they were blessed and elevated. And then he won. The opposite of arrogance, humbleness is what? Arrogance. وَالْكِبْرِيَاءُ لِرَبِّنَا صِفَةٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-kibiru. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who has the right to boast, because he's the provider of everything. He's the creator of everything. He has the right to boast. So for that, it is part of his attributes. If you try to challenge Allah with this attribute of his, you know what happened. So this is one of unique attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, makhsusa, fatajannibha. So stay away from that. Wattaqi, and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam.
قال أبو حنيفة رحمه الله
Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man, may Allah have mercy on him, said,
لأصحابه
لأصحابه,
نعم.
he said to his students,
عظموا
أمائمكم.
Yep.
He said to them, عظموا أمائمكم. As part of ways in which you want to respect the knowledge, عظموا أمائمكم. Make sure that you have this big and beautiful turban. You know, Sheikh Ibrahim does this turban, but his is small. Do it bigger. عظموا أمائمكم. So Sheikh Ibrahim, when you're doing it, make it a bit bigger. I think Abdul Basit will be happy because you're following the teachings of Abu Hanifa. He said, عظموا أمائمكم. Make your turbans big. All right?
ووسموا أكمامكم.
ووسعوا أكمام basically is the hands of your clothing. All right? But basically he's trying to say that, and make your clothing bigger as a way to respect the knowledge. Not for you to show off. All right? It's not about you. It's about way in which you should show, so that the knowledge will have some sort of respect. Don't be the scholar and you always come with a dirty clothing and you expect people to feel like we're going to listen to you. No. Present yourself nicely so that people will associate knowledge with something beautiful. All right? So the idea here is, when it comes to that, you are only presenting yourself in that way so that the knowledge will be seen as something that is good. But if you always come like a beggar among the people, you know, it does not serve well for the knowledge. Let people want to see, subhanallah, you know, you should be attractive to them so that they will understand that the knowledge that you have is not that knowledge, but of course, when they come closer, you also have some sort of value in their eyes.
وإنما قال ذلك لئلا يستخف بالعلم وأهله.
So he said that so that the scholars of knowledge and the knowledge itself will not be looked down upon.
وينبغي لطالب العلم
وينبغي لطالب العلم, so it is very important for a student of knowledge
أن يحصل كتاب الوصية.
So a student of knowledge should always try to search and get a copy of this Kitab al-Wasiyah, the book of Wasiyah,
التي كتابها أبو حنيفة.
التي كتبها أبو حنيفة, when the book that Abu Hanifa wrote ليونس بن خالد. He wrote it to his student with the name Yunus bin Khalid As-Samti rahmatullahi alayhi. In the الرجوع إلى
أهله.
When he was going back to his أهله, to his family after studying.
يجده من يطلبه.
يجده من يطلبه. Anyone who seek for it will find it.
وقد كان أستاذنا شيخ الإسلام
برهان الأئمة
علي بن أبي بكر قدس الله روحه العزيز أمرني بكتابته عند الرجوع.
So our writer Imam Burhan al-Islam Az-Zarnuji, he was saying that his teacher also encouraged him or commanded him to make a copy of that book when he finished his studies and he was going back to his people. وكتبته and I wrote it ولا
ولا
بد
بد
للمدرس
للمدرس
والمفتي
مفتي
في
في
معاملات
معاملات
الناس منه.
نعم.
So it is very encouraging for a teacher, those who are making fatwa, to engage people in this book because it has beautiful advice for the people. All right, and as I made mention, most of our people who went overseas and studied, they could have been able to engage with the people back home beautifully and gently, but unfortunately, they don't have this sort of skills, and they dealt with them so harshly, and it divided the people instead of bringing the people together. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.